Okay, so got a little fish here, maybe about 14 inches long. We're going to give her an injection and just enough water in to cover her, and put some sedate into the water and give it a little mix around. And it won't be long before it takes that in and it will roll over. In the meantime, we'll get some of the antibiotic. And this isn't a very big fish, so I would say 14 inches. I might put in about 0.4 of a mil or thereabouts into a fish this size. It's not a heavy fish, so the amount of antibiotic depends on the size of the fish. So we draw the needle back to 0.4 and we pierce the rubber on the top of the vial, squeeze the air in 0.4 and draw out 0.4 of the antibiotic into the needle. Wait until it fills up and there are no air bubbles left, and we're ready to do the injection. Now this fish has a little split in its pectoral. There's a little bit of an infection along the dorsal fin, so there's no open wounds. I'm just going to put some potassium permanganate onto that bit on the top and give it the antibiotic just to let you see how to inject the fish. I'm going to inject it into the pectoral muscle, and as you can see, the fish is starting to feel the effect there of the sedate already. We'll also put some permanganate onto those splits in the fins just to clean them up. They're not infected, but I'll do that while I'm at it. So we wait for the fish to go over, and what we're really watching for is that the fish will settle down and it will roll over onto its side, and whenever it's calmed down, then it's enough that we can work on it. It usually takes, it depends how much sedate you put in, usually a minute, minute and a half, something like that. If it's not going over, I sometimes add some more sedate. Doesn't do it any harm, but if you leave it in too long, then the fish will die. So we can see it here. It's not, so it's calming down a little bit. It's starting to lose its balance a little bit. And we'll watch for the gills to slow down before we're ready to inject the fish. So here I have a fish mat. You can use a towel, a wet towel. Just make sure that it's wet on the surface. So put some water on here to make sure that that's not going to pull the skin or the mucus off the fish. So we're all ready. I'm finished with the sedate. I have a little bit of permanganate made up here with a cotton bud, and that's just to paint on. If there was an open wound, I would normally use Causeway Koi and then seal it with the top coat sealer, but I'm not going to be using those on this fish. So it's a little bit to go yet, but it's quite a strong, feisty fish, so it might take it a while just to calm down. Okay, so we're giving it a little bit of time, and it's quite a strong fish, as I said. It's still quite active, but it's okay. I'll be able to work with it like this. So it means we can take the fish out and lay it here on the wet mat, and we just lift up the pectoral fin here, and there are no scales here, so put it in at a slight angle, not all the way in with this size of fish, and just until there's some resistance, and slowly let the antibiotic go into the pectoral muscle right there. You let that phase over, and say just put a little bit of permanganate onto that break in the fin and paint some along here. It should go a brown color, and as it's absorbed in, if it stays purple, you know that it's healed up. And on the other side, just a little bit on the fin. On the other side. And just give it a few seconds. Do its job. And then let it go back into the pond. And in a few seconds, it should be swimming about again.